To the man he said, because you have listened to your wife and ate from the tree of which I have forbidden you to eat, cursed be the ground because of you. In toil shall you eat in yield. You shall eat its yield all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to you. As you eat of the plants of the field, by the sweat of your face shall you get bread to eat, until you return to the ground from which you were taken. For you are dirt, and to dirt you shall return. Now I think that this passage from Genesis speaks of the human condition. We are dirt, and to dirt we shall return. Now we know that the scripture is not a scientific book, and Pius XII in 1953 said that there's no contradiction between scripture and science and the theory of evolution. He said that as long as we hold that God breathed into a pre-existing creature a soul, then we are really making God the creator of man. Now, what this passage shows us is that we are in a pitiful condition. I think that we can see that in our own lives, in the lives as soon as life comes into this world, from the baby on. And because of the human condition, I think we can see why the Pope, Francis, called for an extraordinary year of Jubilee dedicated to the Divine Mercy. And since the 8th of December, when he declared the year of Divine Mercy and opened the door of mercy in St. Peter's Basilica, on every occasion since then, he has talked about the year of mercy. To understand mercy, I think you have to do a little imagining, if we can, of the Blessed Trinity. Van Balthasar describes the Blessed Trinity as a cycle of total self-giving. The Father gives himself totally to the Son, and the Son gives himself totally to the Father in this cycle of total self-giving, so that one loses itself in the other. The Son gives himself totally to the Father gives himself totally to the Son, so that one is the other. And Jesus said, when you see me, you see the Father, because they are one by this total self-giving. Now, from this total self-giving, there proceeds the third person, who is love. This total self-giving generates love, a person unto itself, the person of love. And so that you can say, that, as John says, that God is love. So that there is this love within the Blessed Trinity. Now, when this love turns from the Blessed Trinity to an object, as it does to our soul, that love receives a new name, the name mercy. Love is nothing but, mercy is nothing but love for a poor person. a poor person who has a human condition where he is lost. Now, you can ask, why is this great emphasis put on divine mercy? Why is mercy so necessary for us? Why is a relationship with God has that particular twist of mercy? Well, I think we can see it from a baby, and I'm saying this with a half a smile. We all love a little baby. I mean, they're adorable, but just look at them. As soon as they take away the blankets and that the little hands come out free, they are constantly moving. They're grabbing. They're seizing and destroying. And the little feet, they're just going as fast as they can go. They want, what are they looking for? They want to go. They want freedom. They want to express themselves. And this is from the very beginning. This little baby wants total independence. It wants to be free. It wants to have complete control. It will be as God. That is the temptation. And we've got it there from the beginning. That little baby is out to be liberated. It grows a little bit more, and there's a cup there on the floor. If you put that cup of milk in front of the baby, over it goes. As soon as the baby can grab Mummy's nose, she tries to take it off. Pulls her ear, takes her glasses, and zingo, they could be worth several $100, a good pair of glasses. Seize and destroy. It starts off like seize and destroy. It wants control of everything that it can see. It wants to discover everything. You can't have a single cabinet or a drawer that can open without that little baby coming in and looking in and discovering it. And he wants independence. He wants to just have the whole house to himself so that he can go and discover everything. Well, this is what we have all inherited. And it's because we have this basic, none of the things that the baby is doing, you can't call them sins. The baby is not a sinner. He's just in this condition of fallen mankind, of the fallen race, who wants independence, wants control, and immediately God gave it that independence and that control. He set us free, and we cannot go to him without him first coming to us. We have lost the ability to see God, and we've lost the ability to go to God. As the Pope says, that the Father comes through these holy doors to greet us. He is there first. In fact, he opened the doors, and he is there to receive us. He is coming to us. All of grace is given to us, and what we do is respond. The only thing we can do is respond to that gift that we have received. And this is why we need a year of mercy. Not because we have any great sins, not because we have turned away from God, not because we have done heinous crimes that would put us in prison, but human condition, of wanting to be in control, of wanting to be independent. You know, our Declaration of Independence, we Americans are the captains of our ship and the masters of our fate. We're not the captains of our ship or the masters of our fate. St. Augustine says we can neither will, desire, or do anything good without divine grace. Now, mercy is certainly one of the chief characteristics of mercy is grace. It is God coming to us, giving us the ability now to do something good, to go to him, to go through those doors, to receive his embrace, as he did the prodigal son. And the Pope is using the image frequently, since he's opened the doors, of the Good Samaritan. We are asked to show mercy. We are asked to be that goodness in someone's life, where we can ease the pain of our basic, fundamental alienation from God, in the sense of through this original sin, through this original desire for independence, God gave it to us, because that's what we wanted. We wanted this basic thing of having control. First of all, I want control over myself. What would ever happen if I ever let go? If I ever let myself go? I mean, heavens, I am capable, just as we are all capable, of anything whatsoever, because we want this freedom. We, in a very real sense, we have this freedom to do and to be in control of our life. And then I want to control everybody around me and all my circumstances. I certainly, I can't control the abbot, but I can control whatever I can possibly control. I was guest master here for many years. I've been off and on guest master of the guest house. And, you know, when you have a job like that, all monks, they get a broom and start sweeping clean. Once we get a new job, the new broom sweeps clean. One of the brothers loves to get on a tractor. Well, he can't run the monastery, but he sure can run that tractor. He is in bliss when he's on that tractor. He can go up and down those, and he has complete control over that machine, and the joy of mowing that lawn and those fields. It's there in us. We want control. We want freedom. We want this liberty. And so the human condition is this. We need the divine mercy. We need this constantly. And this is what the Holy Father is talking about. It's not that we are great sinners, it's just that we have this condition, that we want to have freedom. We want to have control. We want to have liberty. We want to be as God. Now, it takes a lifetime to begin to just see that this is our human condition. Because the big things that impress us are our big faults. When we do something really, 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 really wrong, we know it. It's not realizing that I'm a control freak. For years I did the breakfast here, and I think I've told you this before, that I have 6 jars of jelly out there, and it has to be red raspberry, strawberry and orange. And the back row has to be, let's see now, blueberry, sweet orange, and what is the third one? I forget what the third one is. But anyway, they all have to be in that order. And if anybody moves them around, God help them. I want to control the breakfast. A guest comes in. Now I have the breakfast mainly ready. I haven't rung the bell yet, but I'm still putting out the coffee or something. And somebody comes from Mass, and they get in the dining room, and the first thing they go and pour themselves a cup of coffee. I haven't rung the bell yet. When I ring the bell, then you can get your cup of coffee. But until then, God help you if you try to get a cup of coffee. In fact, I will go so far as to tell them, you know, that's pagan coffee. We haven't said grace yet. I haven't blessed it. You know, I'm a control freak. And somehow I think, you know what I mean. This is the human condition. This is why we need a year of divine mercy. To have concentration on this fact. And the Pope is saying all of this, of course, with a big smile on his face, because he knows the freedom that we will really receive now. Not the freedom when I am in charge and I am in control, but the freedom of that, the weight that is upon me by carrying all my crazy faults. Not the big ones, but the crazy ones, the desire for control, the desire for freedom, the desire for liberty, and yeah, just to go back to this little child. Not too long ago, we had a little girl came in this room with her grandma, and the little kid couldn't just look at all the different things that are around here, the different chairs and tables and all that. She had to go through the legs of that table. Now, that's a job to get through those legs. They're pretty close, but she had to get in there. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's just because it was there, and she has to conquer this thing. It's like Mount Vesuvius, you know, they go up and because, you know, it's there. Yeah, so we are in this human condition. Our human condition is needing a God to come and show us the mercy from ourselves. We really we want to have control of ourselves, but somehow he puts us into positions where, in circumstances where we can't control ourselves, where we can't control our destiny, we can't control our health, we can't control so many things in life. So the act of surrender, the act of imitation of the Trinitarian life, of giving ourselves totally to the Father, and the Father in turn is filling us with his grace. Now, one of the chief postures of acknowledging this human condition, acknowledging the fact that we are dust, and unto dust we are going to return, is the posture that the seminarian takes before his ordination. It's the posture that the monk takes before he receives the habit and before he makes his vows. The prostration, going down on all fours and acknowledging the fact that we don't have control. When you're on all fours, you've given up control. You can't go any further down, so you don't have to control yourself to keep yourself from falling. You're down at the bottom. And somehow, I imagine when in a prostration you hand it all over to God, you know that he, in turn, is filling you with himself, so that it is a cyclic act, an act of total self-giving. You give yourself to God, and God gives himself to you. And this is love that is proceeding from the Father's, the persons of the Trinity, and turned outside of the Trinity to us, who are in this human condition, who need this divine mercy. And we need this year of divine mercy. And I think it's a tremendous gift to the church. It's a tremendous gift to us and all of us to have this year of special appreciation of God's love for us poor human beings who have really received what we desire: freedom, control, and now we have to give all of that back to him and let him show his mercy to us.